The crystalline halls of the Zenthari mothership gleamed with an otherworldly beauty that made most species tremble in awe. Queen Veltara stood before her ornate mirror, her translucent blue skin shimmering with bioluminescent patterns that had evolved over millennia to represent the pinnacle of Zenthari beauty. Her four graceful arms moved in practiced motions as she adjusted her ceremonial crown, each movement liquid poetry. "Your Majesty," came the gravelly voice of her military advisor, General Cothran. "The human diplomatic vessel has docked. Shall we proceed with the standard intimidation protocol?" Veltara's large, multifaceted eyes caught the light as she turned. "Indeed, these humans have been surprisingly resistant to our expansion. Perhaps seeing our superior evolution will finally convince them of their place in the galaxy." The throne room was a masterpiece of Zenthari architecture, soaring spires of living crystal that sang with harmonic resonance, walls that shifted, color with the queen's emotions, and gravity wells that allowed courtiers to float gracefully through the air. When the human delegation entered, the contrast was stark. James walked beside Mino, both wearing simple diplomatic uniforms that looked almost primitive against the backdrop of alien grandeur. While other species typically prostrated themselves before entering, the humans walked upright, their eyes taking in everything with curious observation rather than fearful awe. "Humans!" Queen Veltara's voice resonated through bioacoustic amplifiers embedded in her throat. "You stand before the Zenthari collective, inheritors of 1,000 worlds, evolved beyond the crude limitations of base matter." Her skin pulsed, with deeper blues and purples, a display that had reduced other species' ambassadors to quivering submission. Mino stepped forward, consulting her translation device. "Your Majesty, we come seeking peaceful coexistence and mutual understanding." The Queen laughed, a sound like crystal chimes in a hurricane. "Mutual? Look at yourselves, bound to single forms, trapped in solid flesh, limited to one consciousness per body. We are everything you could never evolve to become." She gestured with her four arms at her translucent beauty, at the living walls, at the floating courtiers. "We are perfection incarnate." James had been quiet until this moment, but now he stepped forward with that characteristic human smile, not the baring of teeth that meant aggression in most species, but something warmer, more complex. "Your Majesty," he said, his voice carrying an odd gentleness, "you're absolutely gorgeous." The throne room fell silent. Queen Veltara's bioluminescent patterns stuttered in confusion. "What? What did you say?" "I said you're gorgeous. Breathtaking, really. The way your skin catches the light, how your movements flow like water, the intelligence in your eyes, it's remarkable." Veltara's skin flickered between colors rapidly, a sign of deep confusion among her species. But I just explained to you how superior we are, how primitive and ugly your kind appears in comparison." James's smile widened, and there was something in his eyes that Mino recognized. That uniquely human quality of finding beauty in the unexpected. "Your Majesty, beauty isn't a competition. The fact that you're magnificent doesn't make us less than we are. It just makes the universe more interesting." I don't understand," the Queen said, her four hands making agitated gestures. "Your species should feel inferior, ashamed. Why do you look at me with such appreciation?" Mino stepped closer to James, understanding flowing between them in that wordless way humans had perfected over millennia of cooperation. "Your Majesty, may I explain something about humans?" The Queen nodded, her attention completely focused now, her courtiers forgotten. "We're collectors," Mino continued. "Not of things, but of experiences, of beauty, of wonder. When we see something amazing, like your people, your technology, your incredible evolution, we don't feel diminished. We feel grateful that such things exist to be witnessed." James nodded. "Every species we've encountered has taught us something new about what's possible. The Andromedans showed us mathematics as art. The Void Walkers taught us patience across cosmic scales. And you've shown us what it means to grow beyond physical limitations while maintaining aesthetic grace. Queen Veltara's skin began shifting to colors her courtiers had never seen, soft golds and warm ambers. But we were meant to inspire fear, submission, recognition of your inferiority. Why would we fear something beautiful? James asked simply. Your achievements don't diminish ours, they inspire us to reach further, dream bigger, become more than we were yesterday. For the first time in her 3-century reign, Queen Veltara felt something she'd never experienced. Curiosity about a supposedly inferior species. You truly see beauty in us? Not threat? Not insurmountable superiority? Both, actually, Mino said with her own smile. You're incredibly advanced, powerful beyond our current understanding. But that doesn't make you less beautiful or us less worthy of existence. The universe is big enough for multiple kinds of magnificence. The queen was quiet for a long moment, her skin cycling through thoughtful purples and contemplative blues. Finally, she spoke, her voice softer than before. In all our encounters with other species, none have ever called us beautiful while simultaneously refusing to be diminished by our presence. That's because, James said, his smile never wavering, humans have a strange superpower. We can admire something greater than ourselves without losing sight of our own worth. We can celebrate your achievements while still believing in our own potential. Queen Veltara looked at these strange, solid, single-bodied creatures with their fixed forms and limited senses, and for the first time saw not primitiveness, but a different kind of perfection, the beauty of creatures who found wonder everywhere, who grew stronger through appreciation rather than intimidation, who saw the universe not as a hierarchy to climb, but as an infinite garden to explore. Perhaps, she said slowly, her skin now glowing with warm, welcoming hues, we have more to learn from each other than I initially calculated. And in that moment, the Xanthari collective discovered something that would change them forever. That true strength wasn't in being superior to others, but in being magnificent enough to inspire others to become magnificent too. The humans had done it again, turned conquest into friendship simply by being beautifully, impossibly human.